It's been a while since I posted a vlog in this particular channel, and this video is going to be just a general update. I'm not gonna script it or try to make it really like short and without pauses or something like that, but I'm just gonna try my best to say what I'm doing, what it is. So currently, I am working on few projects here and there, but what I've learned as time went on and what I've seen is that this whole filmmaking thing, whether I'm doing long form or short form, it's not exactly geared towards what I want to do in the long term. I know I got some weaknesses. I know I have my limitations, but I know my strengths as well. Um, at the at knowing that, I know I got some needs as well, right? Let's be honest here. I've been doing this YouTube thing on and off for like 10 years, and I've not made a single cent from YouTube directly, right? There have been times where, because a music video is on YouTube or whatever it is that I've made, people have reached out to me, but it's not because of YouTube necessarily. It's more like I've gotten involved with an artist, and that artist um, recommended me to a client, and then I do some commercial work, right? It's not artistic, it's commercial work. It's freelance related work, all right? So that's definitely fair as well. To make money to sustain yourself as this videographer, filmmaker, right? But there comes a point when doing that is not really progressing you in the way that you want to go. Um, I have made this kind of video before in the past and on this channel, and I have taken it down because I felt that it just felt like I was complaining, and it didn't really fit in with the movies that I was putting out on the channel. It's like I'm putting out both blogs and films, so I decided to take that down. But currently, I don't really mind that. This video is a channel update as well. Like, just be honest. I am the main person in this channel, and it's my duty to post some channel updates. So right now, I really don't know when I'm gonna be able to make projects that I could post on this channel. I have been working on freelance stuff um, quite quite consistently. I have made a good amount of money here and there, whether it's through joining some agencies or through doing my own freelance work. And I've been happy about it. I'm not saying it's been totally bad. There have been bad clients. There have been really just terrible times that I've dealt with, where there's payment delays. There's people that don't really understand how videography works. They don't understand how photography works, and they put their understanded notions about this business, and they push it onto you because they themselves don't understand what to do and what's going on. So they put all the blame on you. So I've dealt with it as well, you know, and I've just decided, this whole thing, I did not come here just to make money, all right? I came here because I like watching movies and I like making films, right? That's just how it is. And at the core of that, I like telling stories. That is why I started this channel. That is why I've been posting. That's why I've been making films, videos all this time. I want to tell stories. I want to communicate my vision, and I feel good when I do that. Right? I like doing that. It's simple as that. Like, if you want to get more in depth and see, oh, this has a deeper meaning. Not exactly, there's no real deeper meaning. I just like films. I just like making films. There's no like political things or whatever deeper than that. Maybe I do have some beliefs and I have some convictions here and there, but that is not really why we make films. It's because we just like that visual stimulus, straight up. And the tool to do that, films, it's just very interesting. You could place, it's just like water. If you could put it in a cup, or you could put it in a flask or a glass cup or whatever, and all of that can hold water, right? Just like that, you could have a story and you could put it out through novel, a a movie, a a TikTok content, social media content, um, but everyone has their own preferred methods to put it out, right? So in that way, I like putting things out through films. That has been my main thing. But along the process, the way that this whole industry is formatted in is you gotta use social media, you gotta engage with your audience, whether you like it or not. You gotta do things that are extra, which don't really have anything to do with telling stories through films, right? And not everybody is able to do that. Not everybody likes doing that, and really not everybody's good at it. No matter what, unless they got some support outside. Which, granted, I did get support, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to do these films. And when I look into it, with the state of the industry, with AI, with just the way that streaming platforms are, and the way just how oversaturated the market is, there's no real way that my stories are gonna make much of a difference to be able to make money and also do what I want to do. All right, let's just be honest. Maybe in the future I could get those opportunities, but I don't really think I want to do that hustle for the next 10 more years, because I've already spent 10 years on this YouTube channel doing these films, right? I spent a significant part of my teenage years trying to make films, trying to make it. And then my adult years were very rocky, just being very frank. It's not been very good. I've been in and out of university. I've had personal difficulties with my family, my friends, all right? So it feels like I've just been stunted growing up. Um, but I do admit that I've had privilege. I'm not gonna say like I'm I totally have it all bad. There's people working like two, three different jobs and they got no free time. I'd say I'm not in that level of misery or difficulty, but I got a different type of misery and difficulty with with other things going on, right? Um, I realize that this is not really something I see myself doing in this sort of way. And if I put more hustle in, I'm just gonna keep burning out, and the movies are not gonna be good. I'm not gonna have a good life, and the people around me are also not gonna have a good life because I'm gonna affect them, and I'm gonna get in with people that are gonna affect me as well, right? Because the way that the industry is, it's very difficult to find people that you can trust, that are aligned with you. A lot of people are not exactly people who really understand how the world really is. They don't know the world outside of the creative industry or films. I know this sounds so insulting, and it also puts a bad light on me because it looks like I'm also that one of those people. But I don't want to be that kind of person, you know. So like I just want to have a more stable life where I'm not so burned out by making films or doing these kinds of freelance stuff. You know, I just want to have a normal, like, I don't want to say normal because that sounds very condescending. I'd rather say I want a more fulfilling life that has more meaning and purpose outside of just telling stories and making films and watching films and consuming content, right? So I think that the only way to do that is not be so associated with with making films. You know, um, does that mean I'm not gonna make films? No, I do want to make films, but I want to make it in my own terms. I don't want to just be a filmmaker. I want to be a thinker. I want to be a guy who has a wide range of knowledge, wide range of skills, wide range of experiences outside of films. Because films are not really gonna get you anywhere. Let's be honest. If you just read screenplays or watch films, you're not really gonna expand your like thinking. I think the best films ever made, even the best films ever made, are usually by people who are not exactly just filmmakers. Like for example, George Lucas is um he stopped making films for a reason, you know, for a long time. He was in the industry, but he wasn't a director. He was um, doing VFX. He was a VFX house for a long time because he didn't really like directing films. And I think like more power to him because making films is you gotta be a really physically strong and also mentally strong person who is able to handle a lot of bullshit and is able to handle producers, studios, audiences who are just out to get you in the worst way possible. Not everyone is going to be able to handle that and come back again and again and again, unless they're some sort of masochist, you know. And I don't think I am a masochist, you know. I don't like that kind of pain. Maybe in the future I'm able to handle that. Um, I don't know, you know. I'd much rather be part of a business or doing business and doing something outside of films and then come back to make films in my own terms. Because when you're making films in your own terms, you're able to have control over some bullshit things that people control you with. For example, the money, the exposure, you know, people who are able to give you exposure have that power over you, right? People who are able to fund you and give you money, they have power over you. They can do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. They could be the gatekeeper with all these things, and yeah, that's not really a fair way to do it. And I don't think a good film is going to be a good authentic film that is also ethically produced is going to come out of it that is also going to be successful, you know. Yeah. And on top of that, I don't think um, making films on YouTube with low amount of gear, with a really low budget, is going to be sustainable at all, you know. As at least from what I've seen, unless there's a little more support for content creators and over here, you know, I'm right here in Hong Kong. There is a independent community over here, um, but it's still small scale. It's not like they're making profit over here, you know. So everyone or every filmmaker over here, they got a day job. They're doing something else, and even if they don't have a day job, it's not like they're making money through films. They're not making money through films. They're not producing. Um, they're not. They're not having a return on investment, right? And if you want to go further again and again, you need some level of return on investment. And I have not received any enough return on investment considering the 10 plus years that I've been on YouTube, been on this filmmaking grind, right? So yeah, definitely you could say I need to change my strategy. You got to do things differently, and I am doing things differently. And whenever I give up, there's always someone comes in and tries to encourage me, and I'm always very like happy about it. And I do get in, and then once again I get burnt out, and I have to give up because the people I got associated with are not the best people, or they're not really bringing me to a place that I really want to go, and I feel like I'm not being respected in terms of my personal life. Um, Sometimes, quite a lot of times, I feel like I'm being used because I don't really have that personality where I push back that often. Yeah, and definitely I do admit that that's a character flaw on my own. But I also do want to ask, why should it be like that, right? It doesn't really have to be that way, right? I think films could be ethically made. There could be more respect given to the director, to the filmmaker. Um, yeah, I don't really know what the solution is, other than not really making films anymore and just doing something else. And yeah, I know that eventually I'm gonna come back and try to make films in a different setting with new technology. You know, there's AI. There's probably gonna be something else that comes in the future, where we are able to really be democratized and not not be so gate kept by the power keepers, people who have money and people who have connections, whatever it is, you know, and people who prey on your anxieties and loneliness and depression or whatever. So yeah, let's see what happens. um, yeah, this is just an update. I know it might have been confusing to a lot of people. People might be wondering what the hell Rizwan is even saying. What is your point in all of this? Are you gonna make films or not make films? But yeah, this is just a update video that I wanted to give about this channel. Um, yeah, so I'll I might see you guys in another video or not. Um, and yeah, as a another thing, I did delete my Instagram because I just didn't really feel like handling it. I was just really burnt out. I didn't really want to deal with going out, finding clients, having once again delayed payments, getting shit on, getting spit on after putting in the work, not being respected, and all of that for not even receiving much money. I didn't want to deal with that, man. Like, it's just like, you gotta go so low just to get a little bit of money. No, I think I got more respect than that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to please people just for them to like me. All right? I don't want to just go out and try to be kind and nice, um, try to network in a way that at the very end there's not that much of a return on investment. No, I don't really want to do that. But of course, I'm still grateful for all the actual good photographers and videographers, filmmakers who are genuine, who are in fact trying to help the community, and they they do support one another. I respect that, and for businesses who support people, filmmakers and photographers, I do respect that, and I'm all in for that. But let's be honest, a lot of people are not like that, and after a while, you do get burnt out, and this kind of very unstable way of working is not sustainable. It's not sustainable for a lot of people, and they are forced to spend time in their day jobs, which is not really a bad thing, I would say. I think day jobs are not bad, but taking advantage of people who don't really have much choices is really, really bad, I'd say. All right. So, yeah, I just want to make that clear that people like me are not gonna stay silent about people taking advantage of people needing money. All right. We're not slaves. All right. Just because you're a business who has a little bit of money doesn't mean you can boss people around and think you're bigger and better than anyone. So yeah, that's pretty much what I want to say. Um, yeah, um, and I hope I don't come off as rude, and maybe I do. I don't know. I do understand if I come off really strange or rude, but this is just me trying to be honest about this whole filmmaking, commerce, art thing. Yeah, that's what it is, and I think I'm rambling on and on, so I'm gonna end this video. So yeah, see you guys in the next video.